Hey, it's Drew Neiser with another Wednesday Wisdom. You may have noticed that your site traffic is down. You may have noticed that your SEO performance is just going down. It's epidemic. One might call it a Google-pocalypse. What can you do? Fortunately, we've got Farzad from Respona with some tips on what you can do today to give yourself a fighting chance with SEO. Okay, Farzad, tip number one?
I would say my first tip would be getting more product placements. So let me elaborate on that.
Sure.
So the generative AI update of Google's called SGE. Essentially, it's reading the first few search results of Google for the user's query, and then will essentially generate a reply answering the user's question. Now, one of the ways that it's essentially getting to the answer, getting to the point a lot quicker. One of the ways you can make sure you show up in the search results is by making sure that your product or service is mentioned on as many of these websites as possible. Because the more frequency you've had being included in other websites talking about your product, the higher the chances that you would actually be included in that little snippet that it generates.
Right. So it's all about getting into the snippets. So how do we get more product placements?
It's a great question. Outreach. So it's no longer enough to get your own web pages up in the search results. Now you have to make sure that you start building relationships with other publications in your space. So that includes finding the right person, reaching out to them, and offering with an incentive in order to get your product or service mentioned on those pages that are getting rankings.
And so what's a good incentive? I mean, sometimes I will get the request, hey, we'll pay you, $25 to put a thing there. And it's usually garbage content and it messes up our thing. And there might be sneaky code in there. What's a trustworthy offer?
Yeah, usually payment of cash is not the best incentive because the type of websites that accept cash as a form of incentive are not the type of sites that usually are going to be up there for a while, for long. So different kinds of incentives sort of cater best to different types of websites. So if you have, for example, e-commerce products, sending them free product samples for them to review or for them to include in their listicle is the way to go. If you're selling, or in our case, in the B2B space, obviously it wouldn't make sense. So what we do is giving them a mention on another article that we were writing for a different website. So essentially they're getting a mention and we get one in exchange, but it's not directly reciprocal. It's essentially what we call an ABC exchange.
An ABC exchange. All right, folks, if you're a B2B CMO who can share, care, and dare with the best of them, do yourself a favor and check out CMOHuddles.com. We've got amazing content and some fantastic partners like Farzad from Respona who can help you get ahead of the Google apocalypse. I'm Drew Neiser. That's your Wednesday Wisdom. Peace out.